it's safe to say at this point that nobody should drop really a diss record against Kendrick. Just let him leave him alone. Just leave him alone.
Perfect.
What's good, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy back with another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. I'm here holding it down. My guy Spec in the building. What's good, brother?
What's good, man? Happy Sunday.
You know what I'm saying? Almost the end of the year. You know what I mean? It's December. It's cold as hell outside, snowing, but we still holding it down for y'all here at the Perfect Talk Podcast. We'll get right into it, man. It's time for Plicker's Spotlight Story. You know, every week we find a story, big one, small one, and we shine some light on it, man. And couldn't get away from this one, man. Your boy Kendrick dropped his album GNX on November 22nd, man, and it's been making noise ever since. I can't lie. You know, it's a great album. I was surprised Not Like Us wasn't on it, but I kind of like that he didn't do that because he's like, I'm done with that. I'm just still hitting y'all with.
I didn't even cross my thought pattern. That's right. That track is not on that album.
I remember when he announced the Super Bowl. I think he released a song called "The Party Just Died." That wasn't on it either.
Okay,
but I have heard rumbles that there will be more coming. Like he Taylor Swift in us. Like there's a whole nother album, like a double album. Yeah,
you've been in the lab cooking.
Yeah, I heard there's more music coming. I'd imagine before the Super Bowl we probably gonna get something. But there's been a lot of mentions on the album. You know what I'm saying? Like references to Diddy, references to Snoop. I think you got the one line about Snoop reposted
must
Taylor
have been
Made.
the edibles.
It must have been the edibles, bro. And Snoop responded to it. You know what I'm
saying?
Did
he?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Like basically, like, my fault, nephew. It was the edibles. You know what I mean? I was tripping, kind of. But no, I respect that. And Snoop don't got to do that. You know what I mean? So
I mean, even so, it was Taylor Made was a dope song. I mean, why can't we just big up music? Everybody got to pick a side.
That's what it come down to, yeah. And then it's like if you showed love to the other side, like now you're kind of like
that's the problem in today's politics in the world. It's like, everybody got to pick a side. We can't just all enjoy things. Be in the middle,
be nuanced, Because I was definitely, I won't lie, I feel differently about Drake than I do now. But during the beef, I was kind of, you know what I'm saying, rooting for Drake a little bit, and then when Kendrick had some bangers, I was like, all right, well,
I'm a fan of both. I mean, I could tell you who won, but that doesn't take away from my, I appreciate what both artists did. You know what I mean? Like,
I hate when people can't be nuanced. Yeah, you're right, but politics is a good example of that. It's like, you got to be one or the other. You got to be LeBron or Jordan. You got to be like, Jay-Z, Nas, and it's like,
you got to be all that.
Yeah. But some of the news that have come out since GNX dropped, a tour with SZA was announced for Kendrick Lamar, and one of the big stops that they mentioned is that he will be stopping in Toronto on June 12th. Hopefully, it don't end up like it did for Rick Ross, and it's not a Maybach Music situation because that didn't go well. But it's what do you? How do you think that's gonna? I mean, I guess Kendrick's that big of a star. That is. I
think it'll be all right at the end of the day. Yeah. As long as you know how to move, you'll be fine.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. Like it's a bold move.
Ross was probably chilling in the wrong place at the wrong time when that popped off.
It was a festival one, so it's probably a lot
hanging
more people
out with the fans and all of this. Like,
people got way too much access to you at a festival than they would I guess at your own concert tour. Right. So yeah, that makes sense. But
and being that they know they're going to Toronto and how things could possibly they'll be on their game. So I don't really think there's much to be worried about.
He had a line on the first track about Lil Wayne. Like he's like, I guess my hard work let Lil Wayne down, which I didn't really feel was a diss, but I don't think Lil Wayne took appreciation to it.
Yeah, I don't think he did. He don't think he dissed Lil Wayne. I took it as, and I could be wrong, but just basically what he did to Drake, and then Drake being Lil Wayne's artist. Him really? Saying, my hard work and busting that ass.
I took it as the Super Bowl.
Oh, that too. Yeah. I didn't think about that, but
because I didn't even. You're right. There, obviously, the.
Drake. I mean, only Kendrick knows what he really meant, but I mean, it could also be that Super Bowl thing because he did say nobody else was really happy for him except Nas.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the only one who congratulated him.
Now, basically, like, my hard work took away the Super Bowl that was supposed to be Wayne, so to speak, or kind of thing. But yeah, I guess like you said, only Kendrick truly knows what he means by it. One of the other lines on there was an Andrew Schulz line. Well, people are assuming it's an Andrew Schulz line. He doesn't say Andrew Schultz's name, but he's like, no white comedian should make jokes about black women. That's law.
Was he making jokes about a black woman?
So actually, I'm gonna pull up some videos for you. But it was one thing about Andrew Schulz, whether you know him or not, and I've noticed this with comedians, is like, especially when they have a podcast, is you can paint a narrative of them by just taking a clip of their podcast, because it's kind of like what's the best way to explain it? Kind of like when you got your crew at school, right? And you got inside jokes with your crew, but then people from the outside might be like, "Whoa, what you like? That's offensive," or da 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 da. But you like, well, in the crew, we talk like this. Like we, they know what I mean. They know my true intentions. So you can, especially with comedian podcasts, I feel like take stuff out of context and just be like, "This person's racist. This person's anti-Semitic. This person's this or that." So it was a situation a while back where Andrew Schulz had these two guys on the show from the UK. The names of Shits and Gigs, and they basically were doing like a U.S. tour run where they were doing a bunch of podcasts in the U.S. So I didn't know, I never heard of these guys before they were on this podcast, but that's not to say nothing about their popularity. They are popular. I believe it's two brothers, young, maybe a little bit younger than us, or if not the same age. But one thing I didn't know about them is, like, I guess they have a huge female fan base, black female fan base, which I don't know. I don't know enough about their show to know why. Maybe they talk about dating. Maybe they talk, I don't know why. But seems like they have a large female fan base. And two things that came out of that like podcast run was, one, they were on. Oh man, I'm forgetting the name. But it was two females that they were talking to, and I believe they filmed in Atlanta. And they were basically asking about like, oh, what do you guys think about the ladies out here in Atlanta? And they were kind of like, to be honest with you, it's kind of the weakest that we've seen so far. Like, they was answering. I guess honestly for what they seen in their experience, and then people took that like, whoa, you went to like the black capital of the world, and you kind of like, it was mad. so that clip came out, right? And then in the same podcast run, he stopped on Andrew Schultz's Flagrant podcast. Let me see. Can I find it real quick?
What is the black girlfriend effect? This is
you don't know about this?
Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend. All of a sudden, he's got a buzz cut, like clean shape up.
Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that. They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends,
they grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect. It might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective.
Yeah. Do you guys? Have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Yo, who gets
That is white.
Hey, let me get a UL translation.
Kendrick fan.
And they just kind of laughed. But this is basically them apologizing for not, I guess, stepping up in that moment to their fan base and what they feel like let their fan base down. Now this seemed like PR, but I'll play it for you.
In line.
In something that's like really, really hurt people that look to us for support and look to us to feel protected. And protected is the main thing that I wanted to discuss, is that it is our duty to protect you guys.
Pause.
Yo.
I feel like we failed.
Yo.
I feel like we failed, Akash.
Yo.
So basically, like, the Andrew Schulz is like, this is a comedy podcast. We make jokes. We laugh. We joke about everybody. Like, his Indian co-host, he talks about Indian people all the time. One of his co-hosts is black and Puerto Rican. They make black jokes. You know what I'm saying? They make like his whole thing is, I'll come to your town, I'll come to your country, and I'm so funny that me making fun of you, you're not even gonna be offended by it.
Right, it's just jokes.
It's love, and I would be disingenuous to come to your country and not do that, because I do that everywhere else I go.
Right.
So you take the clip out of context I just told you about. Those guys were already facing kind of like you cooning. Like you said the Atlanta thing. Now you laughing with Andrew Schulz about it, who already is kind of dicey in terms of, like, you know what I mean? Because people could just take clips out of context, and now we're gonna paint a narrative about you. So the assumption is, Kendrick seen that. He's like, don't let no white comedian make jokes about black women. That's law. You know what I mean? And then I think the next line says something about the black people who be next to him, like Charlemagne. Oh, he has a black co-host on his other podcast and things like that. But to me, it was a light line. It wasn't that serious. It wasn't anything to be taken It wasn't like, yo, go attack Andrew Schulz. It was like, this is something people talking about in the news. This is something that they talking about. But then Andrew Schulz, I don't know if you've seen his response, but I'll see. I think I have it on here.
Here's the thing. This is the thing that is kind of funny about it. Is like, first of all, Kendrick's people and the gang affiliate, everybody, his security, they will kill me. They will destroy me. They'll find me in the street. They'll fucking cut me up. They'll shoot me. They'll do whatever. I'm not a tough guy. Y'all do. But just Kendrick, I would make love to him. And there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him. And the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. Maybe
Mark,
I'll let him choose a position.
Why are you pulling this picture up, Mark? Why are you doing this?
Put up that picture of him and Travis Kelce's girl. Look at that shit.
Oh my God, dude, that's unbelievable.
Yo, I'll be honest. I would go so far as to say I don't think he could stop most people on the planet from having sex with him.
Is Kendrick really a black belt?
Is he what?
Is he really a black belt? Like, I know they call him Kung Fu Kenny.
Oh,
Do he really do martial arts? I don't know if that's real or not. Right? Yeah, I didn't think so. But yeah, basically joking around. Like, I mean, as a comedian, that's what you're supposed to respond. Like, what are you gonna do? Fight him?
Right.
Yeah, you respond with jokes. But a lot of people were like, that's a weird way to respond. Trying to make more out of it. I think it really comes down to a comedian's gonna make the jokes a comedian can make. Like, how could you?
I don't know why people why people so outraged. I mean, it's jokes at the end of the day.
Meek Mill decided to hop in and remind everybody about jokes. He said,
just shut up.
White man saying black man openly is extreme and then say it's a joke. Black man is not a joke. I seen the same guy saying I was gay on the stand-up. My white friends like it's a joke. We don't joke like that in the black community at all. But then Andrew Schulz responded with a tweet of Meek Mill responding to the video of Schulz doing stand-up, saying, first time I laughed at being gay, but don't with me in real life, I may swing. He said, you seem to like it. So it's like, he's just showing that he's being hypocritical, because, you know what I mean, you laughed at jokes before. Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jackson, responded, called him a weird-ass nigga. And then Andrew Schulz responded, Google No Vaseline by Ice Cube, which is the same kind of rhetoric one way or another. I just think, first of all, he's going to have response. He's a comedian. That's what they do. So that's probably not the best route to go with. But also, it's like you're getting it out of context. If you just seeing that clip, you'd be like, what is this about? Why is he saying that? If you just getting the shits and gigs clip, you're going to be like, oh, is this what they talk about all the time? And I feel like that's just an unfair thing to do with anybody. I'd be unfair if you was a rapper and I just took your just a lyric that you thought was funny, and now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a judgment call about you like that. So so that whole situation to me is weird. Another weird thing, the way Drake is responding to this whole thing with a petition against UMG, saying that their distribution of Not Like Us, he showed Spotify as well. It was basically,
and I didn't know, like, with UMG, isn't like, or was Drake and Kendrick under that umbrella?
Both under it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of weird. That, I mean, I don't doubt that they did that, but it's
basically he was saying that they inflated the plays that Not Like Us would have got by offering Spotify lower rates to play it, to license it, and basically causing Spotify to promote it more, play it more, put it on playlists, just have it pop up on your autoplay.
I wonder if it was more of an issue for him because they're both under that same umbrella, and because of that, there should be no push by the label to push one artist over another.
Yeah. Well, some people are saying this. I've heard denied. This I've heard people say is that Drake fulfilled his contract with UMG. I think he got $400 million. I think he, with the tour and everything that he did, he was able to recoup. It was time for them to re-up. And basically he was saying they use that as a negotiation tactic to lower his value.
Like they used what? Like
The beef.
Uh-huh.
By promoting Kendrick in a song saying, alluding to Drake being a pedophile or whatever the case may be, that now that lowers his stock value.
Oh, so
now
they're not trying to pay him.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not gonna pay you $600. We don't even want to give you $400. You like everybody's calling you so that's what I think where he's coming from.
Okay.
With it. And he's saying they were using that to kind of like as a So I think like sports teams do that sometimes. They might have some dirt on an athlete, and once he starts acting funny in free agency,
That don't even sound like that just sounds like business.
Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, and if that's the case, then that should make sense.
I guess so. Where it doesn't, and it's a bit hypocritical, is the same tactics that they would have used, whatever the strategy was, or for Spotify, lower rates, whatever the case may be, or for Apple Music, lower rates. They've done that for Drake before. There's no way.
When you say they've done that, you mean like uplift him?
Yeah. They've done that same
they do that to all hot artists.
Yeah, that's a music industry thing.
But now that you're trying
to expose it, show it to everybody publicly, like kind of like Wizard of Oz. I'm shining a light on you, showing what's really happening behind the curtain. But they do that for everybody. J. Cole said that on the 21 Savage song. How many niggas faking their streams, getting their plays off machines?
No, you're right. The label has always done that, but it is a problem now that you're trying to use it against me.
Yeah.
So now that's where the problem is.
But
it's not that it doesn't happen, and had it not been to me, cool, but you're trying to do it to me, and now it's going to be a problem.
It's not necessarily to you. It's they're doing it for their artists.
But I am also,
But you've also benefited from that.
I did benefit, but now you're not trying to pay me what I'm worth moving forward.
Can you
trying to use that against me?
I guess it's
and so now we're negotiating, trying to re-up or whatever the case may be, and you want to pull this? Okay.
I just feel it's hypocritical though, because when it worked for you, when it was 2C Slide, you know what I'm saying, and they were pushing it right now, I'm like, why is this record popping? It's not that hot. You know what I mean? Why is it everywhere I go?
Right. So when it's to my benefit, it's cool.
I'm gonna be quiet about it.
The moment it's not to my benefit, exactly. It's gonna be a problem.
I think he also said defamation of character with the line, the A minor and things of that nature. And it's like, no one ran with that like as if it was real.
Right.
let's be honest, Drake. Like people, it was funny, it was a joke, but people would have really stopped listening to your music. It would have been a whole thing if someone thought that was some actual. You do got a dude in your crew named Baca that has a weird case. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know if this is necessarily defamation. And then also, what did you say about Kendrick's wife? What did you say about his kid? Mm-hmm. So how could you want to, is that not defamation? What you're saying about them? You know what I mean? And they're not even in the beef. They're not even in the industry.
Yeah,
so it's like these are citizens. So it's just like, it seems really hypocritical. It seems like the type of thing to do because I can out-lawyer you or I got money or, you know what I'm saying? But in the hip-hop industry...
So we're talking about two different things, business versus hip-hop.
Yeah.
So from a business perspective, it makes sense to me. Now, if we're just looking at it from strictly the hip-hop, it is hypocritical. But yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at Drake for doing what he feels he needs to do.
Yeah, well, what could he do? It's not looking like the music is hitting. I'm not gonna say like he's dropped music since the beefs come out that I've liked, but it's not the same. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you say it's not the same, what do you mean?
You could tell he's bothered. You could tell it's coming from a place of like I got something to prove. Whereas I think before it kind of came across a little bit more confident, and it came across like this is hot. You know what I'm saying? It feels like he's reaching. Like I'm reaching. I need a hit. I need something to come out. And even I think he named the tour because he's doing a tour in Australia, which is
okay.
Very. I mean, that's so far from Canada. You know what I'm saying? To be selling out arenas in Australia is amazing. And it's just like, I think he called it, I need a max win. It was just like, like, I don't know. It's like two on the nose. Like, you do need a win right now. Mm-hmm. But also, you're Drake. Like, do you really? Like, you're going to be good without a win right now. You're going to be good if there's this whole thing. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just all coming from I think Drake's music kind of came from a place of confidence before. Just from my perspective, when I listen to it, I don't feel that same confidence. But to his credit, it's still good music. It's still good stuff that comes out. He has, like the joint with Lotto, the 100 gigs, everything that's come out from there, the No Face song. He's doing all right for himself, but... I'm sure all the Spotify end of list stuff is saying he's the most played artist. which is kind of crazy that you're suing them because it's like you still number one on them, but it's just like you said, it's business, right?
I mean, that's all it boils down to is the business. I mean, as fans, we don't look at it from a business perspective. So, it is what it is.
Before we move on, Cam Newton had a clip going viral this week where he was like, he thinks Lil Wayne should drop a diss record towards Kendrick.
I'm a fan of Drake. I'm not gonna give it's a backhand compliment, but after Kendrick and this beef, I look at Drake different. I don't think Drake has it in him to go to the places that he needs to go to attack Kendrick properly. He won't be able to do that with Dwayne Carter. Just for the appreciation of the art. Because Drake ain't capable. I want to see Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne is this Lil Wayne.
Wake that motherfucker up. You gonna let this motherfucker come into your motherfucking city on motherfucking February and you ain't gonna drop nothing?
I don't think that's the best move right now for Wayne. And I love Lil Wayne, like I'm one of the biggest Lil Wayne fans. I think that time may have passed for Lil Wayne. Never knew him to be a battle rapper of that caliber anyway. No. Makes great songs, but I just think it wouldn't be a great look for him right now. Nah.
There's no need. What is he gonna drop a diss record for? For what? I think it's safe to say at this point that nobody should drop really a diss record against Kendrick. Just let him leave him alone. Just leave him alone. I don't know that just let him be.
Dude, because he dropped 4 joints on Drake that were like they were so far from each other they were damn near different genres. You know what I'm saying? Like, Meet the Graham sounds nothing like Not Like Us. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like Euphoria sounds different. And they all slayed him.
So I mean, there's no need.
Leave that man alone. What it do, y'all? It's your man DJ Playboy. Just interrupting real quick, man. I really appreciate you watching this episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. But if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. You got to run them numbers up so I can keep running it up. Also, if you're listening to the audio version on the podcast, make sure you leave a review. Let them know how much you love the podcast and, subscribe to the thing. And if you really, really want to support the team, go to www.perfecttalkpodcast.com. Get yourself a t-shirt, get yourself a sticker. You can even get yourself a mug, man. The possibilities are endless and the prices are low. Holla at us, baby. Let's get it. Smack, we're going to move on to another segment we got here at Perfect Talk Podcast, and it's called Since We Spoke, man. It's about just news that happened since the last time we chopped it up. First one up, man. Your boy Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden, of all his crimes of basically lying on a gun application and as well as his tax evasion things as well. And it was one of those like sweeping pardons where he's like he good for like the past 10 years, like anything y'all might bring up on him or good like or anything like that, you know what I'm saying? So which not mad at. I think that's what I would do for my kid. I believe that's what you would do for your son. That's what anybody in power. That's what Trump would have done. Anybody. Ronnie James in the league, like it's what you're supposed to do. I think where the backlash came is the unstoppable denial that he wouldn't be doing this from Joe Biden and his press secretary as well. If
Kamala was president-elect, he wouldn't have had to, right? He wouldn't have done it, and so
he would have let Kamala do it.
I don't think his son would have gotten pardoned. What would have happened? His son would have went to jail or whatnot, but it wouldn't have been nothing crazy. It would have maybe been 60 days or something light, and it would have been all done. But I think because the Republicans are taking over. And Hunter still not had been sent, or was he sentenced yet? He wasn't sentenced yet, right?
I don't believe so. No.
Yeah, so with Hunter still not being sentenced yet, Republicans coming in, they've been looking to get at him since Trump left in 2020. So they would have made sure they got Hunter. Had they come in, and so Biden knows this, and as a father, I'm not gonna let y'all do that to my boy.
Could Kamala have pardoned him? Can you pardon someone like when you?
She wouldn't have been able to pardon him till the end of her term.
It's got to be the end of your term.
Yeah, that's when you pardon people.
Got you.
And but had it been under her, he wouldn't have served no crazy time. It wouldn't have been no ongoing But the Republicans they would have made sure they got him.
Some people there are rumors, people in Joe Biden's own camp who said that no, they knew that they were going to do this all along because Hunter. I didn't even think he took it to trial. I think he just pled out, like he was like, I plead guilty. So they he wouldn't have never took a guilty plea if he didn't know his dad was gonna pardon him. Which I guess both arguments make sense, and we'll never find out. Just you don't have to deny it. I think that's where and I don't think the American people really care. They don't like, oh, you like betrayed us, Joe. I think people who are enemies of Joe Biden use this as evidence to like show his being a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like anyone would do it for their own kid. But don't sit here and be like, nah, I'm gonna just let the justice, system play itself out. I'm gonna stand back on this one. I deny.
The president would end up pardoning his son.
No.
Well,
I just said no. I just answered.
When would the president pardon or commute his son if he's convicted?
So I've answered this question before. It was asked of me not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, and I was very clear, and I said no.
You said before that the president would not pardon his son. Is that still the case?
Nothing has changed. That is still the case.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that, and I will not pardon him.
I could speak for the president, and he said he would not pardon his son.
Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
I mean, he had to say that, though. I mean, before the election, he couldn't have. Just wait. I'm gonna make sure I get my. He couldn't have been that honest.
But I've seen politicians avoid questions. You know what I'm saying? And there's a way about it. They'll be like, I'm not in any position right now to answer that question. They're more pressing issue. You know what I mean? Like
you could have answered that, but not answer. But when it comes to certain things, not answering is just as good as answering.
Right,
and so, had he did that, oh yeah, he's gonna pardon. Like it. I mean, and maybe that
would have landed better.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, him, vehemently denying it. I guess. Yeah, whatever.
Hunter Biden's a wild boy.
He's definitely a wild boy.
He needs to stay out of trouble, man. Yeah, Hunter Biden is a wild boy.
If he get in trouble after this.
I remember the first time I heard of Hunter Biden was, I think when he messed with his dead wife's sister, his dead brother's wife. When that news had come out. And then everything from there, from the laptop to...
crack whores.
And they messed up because... what is it? I think the New York Post reported about that laptop and the stuff that was on it, and a lot like Twitter took it down. A lot of people suppressed that news, and when the footage came out, like you seen Hunter Biden coming down the water slide, you know what I'm saying? You see him, the video of him just weighing his crack. It's just like, this is obviously somebody that's going through a lot of things and still is dealing with issues, but just stay out of trouble, man. You gotta get out of jail free card. You know what I mean? I hate to see people mess that up.
Don't get your OJ on.
Exactly. Don't make it seem as if like you can't live without the trouble, man. Since we spoke, Kai Cenat and his Mafia-thon streaming marathon has earned record numbers for Twitch and made a lot of money for both Kai and the platform. Kai Cenat broke the record for the highest subscriber count on Amazon's Twitch during a live stream for the month
that's owned by Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I think... what I know that? I think there's concerts that play after Thursday Night Football, and they say you can watch it on either platform.
Okay.
They buy it.
They must. That's what they must have brought them out.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's had many celebrity guests on his stream during the marathon, the Mafia-thon, including Snoop Dogg, Bill Nye, and comedian Kevin Hart, Druski, all types of people. I've seen LeBron James' son on there. Everybody, we came through. I think we spoke about what's his name, DDG. Being on there with his son. So, yeah, he's definitely done a lot of things throughout the past month. And it's not the first time he's done it. But the Mafia-thon 2 surpassed the previous subscriber record on Twitch. He reached 7.
So what is, exact Mafia-thon?
He'll stream for 24 hours straight for a month. The cameras don't go off,
for 30 days?
Yeah. So you watch him sleep. You watch.
I've seen parts of these thons, but when they would do the jail thing and stuff like that. So, but when it's not any of those situations, he has cameras in his room or some shit.
Yeah, and I think there's stuff going. Sometimes there's other people. I've seen other people do stuff while he sleeps to entertain the people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is weird.
Hey, but you can watch him sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why people want to. But I think there's actual I think I don't know why it was like a dude juggling or doing something crazy. It was like people just doing like nonsense things while he was sleeping, which makes I don't know how you could sleep through that, but I guess you got to. But basically, they would like Twitch subscribers pay $4.99 per month for perks such as ad-free viewing. Twitch takes a 50% cut of the subscriber revenue, but it reduces its shares to between 30 and 40 for its top creators. Kai Cenat's team did not disclose how much he earned from the subathon, but based on his tier 1 subscriptions, he may have earned about $3.6 million in revenue. With Twitch taking a cut of that. That's, I mean, in 1 month. That is impressive. And basically, yeah, I think the whole goal is for him to beat that record, you know what I'm saying, of subscribers, and I'm sure the watch hours are crazy. But
right.
One of the things that came out of it was Druski had gotten himself in trouble. Oh, yeah, because I'm seeing right now, another streamer did a similar thing in September, and he only got about 320, I said only, but he got 326,000 subscribers, which isn't impressive enough, but yeah, pretty much Cenat doubled that. But one of the things that had come out from the Mafia-thon was a viral clip with Druski that I'm going to play for you, and a little kid. I don't know, I want to get respect and speculation. Do you think Druski went too far with this? Where was it?
I mean, again, I thought he was just making jokes. And I mean...
Comedians, right?
Right.
That's what they do.
What's your name, little nigga? Not you, nigga. I'm talking about the little fat nigga.
Yo, come on, bro.
Come on. Fat nigga.
Yo.
Y'all been saying that to me all fucking night. Everybody call me the fat nigga all night, but I can't call the other little fat nigga the little fat nigga. Man, y'all niggas been fuck out of here, nigga.
That,
I want to have fat phobia when it come to the kid, but not me.
He's like the fucking kid.
Nigga, what about me, nigga?
He's fine. You're a grown ass nigga.
Man, y'all niggas been calling me fat all night.
Juicy. Oh shit.
Oh, y'all. Fuck.
This nigga.
So where's that kid from?
He's just a child actor so that's like the Addams Family. So they just dressed them all up like the Addams Family to have Thanksgiving dinner with them.
That shit whack, bro. But that's what I'm saying. But y'all niggas want me to pay them. But y'all do it to me though.
No, when he was younger, they called you fat. You
my bad, bro. My bad.
Good.
My bad.
But he's crying. He's dead ass crying. You fucking.
Nah, that's my bad.
Look how his father's looking at you. Look how his father's looking at you.
That's bad.
Look how his father's looking at you. You good?
I'll get you. I'll get you some cheese.
Stop.
I mean the house.
Black ears? Black ears? What is wrong with you stupid ass dumbass? Oh, come here. Come some juice. What the fuck just happened, man? What the fuck is wrong with you? He started crying on the spot.
Y'all niggas don't say that to me.
And for the ass,
y'all do it to me though. Nigga, don't nobody got no feelings for the older fat nigga.
Nigga, you a fat nigga, okay? Fat ass. The fuck? He's a fucking kid.
You right. He's a
fucking
kid. He's a kid. I apologize. I gave him a hug.
He's crying, gang.
Yeah,
Open toe sandals.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Come on, bro. Come on, my nigga. Chicken locked up.
I got a couple drinks for it, but that ain't no excuse, bro. For real. Like, I'm a bigger dude, you a bigger dude. We on the same page, and like, I really do apologize. I understand. We got the same mindset. I'm getting a little ahead of myself, getting excited in here, you know what I mean? But I rock with you. What's your name? Joseph. You're a good dude, Joe. You're gonna go far. I got a cousin named JoJo. Yeah. You're cool.
I wouldn't feel comfortable being around this many cameras. I think they caught Sexy Red like doing like a bump of coke or something like that. They said she didn't know she was on camera. So this is mom's responding.
Hi. This is my little boy that was at Cenat's house last night.
Hello. So I was sitting there, in character because, well, I'm supposed to be Pugsley from the Addams Family, so we mostly don't talk. Then he insulted me, Druski. Druski insulted me multiple times. And if you check on the YouTube video, they cut it out. You can only see me hugging LeBron James Jr. and Kai Cenat.
So, with that, they wouldn't let me get my son. Security would block me. The person in charge of telling me what's supposed to go on was saying that my son was crying because he didn't get no food, which was a lie. A older person, Druski, was physically and mentally assaulting my son. calling my son a fat ass nigga, whatever he was saying. But he's a big ass silverback gorilla. He had no business talking to a 9-year-old like this. My son was there to do a job.
She ran out of shit to say.
That's what I was saying. Bitch, just stop talking. We get it. You're upset as a mom.
I guess there's two ways to look at it. I mean, I wouldn't want my kid spoken to like that, one, but I don't think, in the context of it, I don't think he was necessarily being mean to the kid.
They're filming it, your kid's an actor. This is acting. Clearly, there's no real script or anything like that. But
there's comedians, at least two, because Kevin Hart's there too. Druski.
Yeah, but I feel like even whenever I've watched anything, Kai Cenat and what he does, like it's especially like whether he's doing the jail thing or something like that. I don't want to say it's acting at the end of the day. They're not really in jail.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's all, so everybody is in character.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could somebody say Druski took it too far? I mean,
that's the point of it, though.
Like, I mean, the fuck?
What are people watching for if you're not giving them moments? Yeah, like, also, it wasn't malicious. It was kind of like, he just, I don't think Druski thought he would take it like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to put myself, if that was my kid, I wouldn't have necessarily felt like she felt, one, because he's making fat jokes, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's a big guy. Yeah. He know what it's like to be made fun of, fat Joe. And basically what he was saying, it's nothing out of the ordinary that I've heard when it comes to fat jokes. Now, obviously, this is a 9-year-old kid, but the 9-year-old kid is there as an actor.
You sign him up for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, but this is also, it's not like one, you said a scripted show, not a major production through a Paramount or, Warner Brothers or something like that. Like,
even then, actors go off script when they're doing their thing.
Yeah. But I think to your point about the script, at least you would be able to look at it and say, all right, I'll approve it or not. So you're getting your kid in like an improv situation where things could go off the rails. I don't necessarily look at anything Kai Cenat makes. I get it. Kids, you can't have numbers like that without kids watching. But I don't necessarily look at it as kids programming.
Right, no, I don't.
And I'm wondering if this mom thinks of it as that, because I don't.
Maybe because how old is Kai?
He's definitely in his 20s. He's like in the 20s.
It's a kids program. I mean, I don't look at nothing.
I've never looked at one of those clips and thought this was kids programming. Right. Like, it's just, you could curse on it. You can do it. I mean, it gets pretty wild. It's Twitch. The kids in the chat saying crazy things. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I think when you sign your kid up for that, yes, a check comes with it, and maybe you were a little bit more concerned about the check than you were concerned about the actual content that was going to be made, because you know what you sign up for.
Right.
Like, there's nothing to approve first, nothing to be like, you know what I mean? Yeah, your kids. Most you were told your kid's going to dress up like the Addams Family, and let's see where it goes from there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily think Druski was wrong, and shout out to him for apologizing, because I don't necessarily think he had to.
Yeah. I mean,
it looked wild if he didn't, but I don't necessarily think he had to, because I think I look at things from intention. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you heard a white dude rapping and he said the N-word, right? Mm-hmm. You're not gonna react to that the same way as
like him calling you the
N-word, exactly, because of intention.
Right.
So if I'm looking at the whole situation, I don't think the intention was to hurt.
He wasn't trying to hurt the kid.
I think he was trying to bring him into the conversation. Yeah, If anything, he might have been trying to like what's the word I'm looking for? Initiate him into like, yo, you're part of the conversation. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk to the people over there. Let's have jokes. They're dressed like the Addams Family. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have some jokes.
He was doing his job, making jokes. He's a funny nigga. So he was trying to be funny.
Respect, man. Right now, we're going to move on to one of my favorite segments here on the Perfect Talk podcast, and it's called Have You Heard? I hear headlines. I see headlines in the news, and I bring them to the table here to see if you guys at Perfect Talk podcast have heard. One of the big stories I've seen this week, man, was the CEO of UnitedHealthCare was shot dead in New York City. Brian Thompson, man. Crazy. It was like, I don't know. I know you've seen the videos, man, of just being shot in cold blood, like, you know what I mean, somebody waiting for you, like an assassin. The gunman's still at large. Definitely is a manhunt going on in New York City. But I think one of the bigger things that have come out from the story is just the lack of sympathy and empathy for Brian Thompson. Like, many videos have started trending of just people just no sympathy for this man, no sympathy for what happened because of the industry that he works in, the healthcare insurance industry. And you have obviously career experience in the insurance industry. What do you is that not is that's weird, right? Like,
I mean, so I haven't been following too much of like, people's reaction to the situation. I mean, I can imagine, but I mean, a man was killed, nobody, I mean, not that nobody deserves to die, but I'm sure unless he did something heinous that we don't know about that will come out, he didn't deserve to die. So regardless of how you feel about the insurance industry, I mean, that was a bit extreme.
He's not the guy that answers your calls.
Right.
I don't even think he's the person that makes the decisions of whether they're going to cover or something or not. I think that's part of like the company code. Right.
There's probably a board of members that, so
to blame him.
I mean, it's kind of like the coach. The coach is going to get, the axe at the end of the day. So
the team loses. Yeah, but that's crazy. News came out. Pictures have come out of the believed gunman. I see pictures of him with a mask on. I've seen some without the mask. I think they showed his face. They revealed that the three bullets that were found, the shell casings had the words "deny, defend and depose."
Yeah.
What is the significance of that?
Well, that's the title of a book.
Is it?
Regarding like the healthcare insurance industry, and I don't know the full story about the book, but it's the title of a healthcare insurance book.
Probably and it's probably not shining a great light.
Yeah, no, it can't be.
Healthcare insurance. Oh, okay. All right, that makes No, but like I said, I've seen people coming out just talking about they've been denied for stuff. Their baby's been denied, and I'm like, I get you, and I'm not saying that your situation isn't sad or something that we should be sympathetic for, but don't tie it in a celebration of a man being shot down in New York City, because that's not great for society if things like that start happening. You know what I mean? We also have this weird lack of empathy for rich people. Like, I remember with the Titanic submersible, how people remember they said it imploded down there, but just how people were like making jokes about it and like I don't want to say celebrating it, but there definitely wasn't sympathy. It was like, why would you rich people go down there? What the hell were y'all looking for? Kind of victim blaming, kind of like it's just like, I get it. We don't just because like rich people.
They live different lives, and I think we have to understand that. And I think subconsciously, whether it's a little bit of envy or something like that, y'all shouldn't have been doing that anyway.
Yeah.
Well, if you was rich, maybe you would be trying to do something similar. But so
some of these people were born into this too. They didn't do terrible things necessarily. Right. Like maybe their grandfather did or something like that. But it's like, this is what they were born into. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is the lifestyle. So they'll be mad at. You can be mad at them, but don't celebrate death. Like, that's weird to be in my just everything I've seen. But that's one of the saddest things I've seen like this past week, and it took over the news when it happened, because it's like people couldn't believe that it happened. He was on his way to a conference, a healthcare conference, which makes you think that this guy knew his movements to know that he was going to be there at 6 a.m. It's scary. I think his wife had come out that they were receiving threats to his home. So that's on his point too. If you were receiving threats, you gotta take them serious.
I'm sure they will now.
Yeah, it's not a thing where you can play around with anybody's stupidity, because just like when Drake and Kendrick got into their beef and people were showing up at Drake's crib, you don't know if that was people that he was beefing with in Canada,
right?
Or if that was Kendrick's people, or if that was just somebody that's stupid, because people have or someone facing a mental health issue, and it's like you don't have time to decipher.
Right.
You gotta protect yourself. So definitely throw some prayers out to the Brian Thompson's family, and I'm sure nobody's running to fill that position, because
contrary, I'm sure people are running to fill the position
so?
to get that money.
That's true.
I mean, they posted the position like 2 days later.
Really?
Yeah. So people were saying, that the company don't care about with their business. What their leader got taken out. They need somebody else. Oh, hey.
That's crazy. No, that is thing crazy though, because they haven't even caught the guy that did it yet, and they're ready for the next. The
world moves on.
That's how the world. That is.
Like,
don't kill yourself for these jobs, because they will move on.
Like I seen a post. The lady was, your company doesn't care for you. Da 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 da. When did you think your company cared for you? It's a business at the end of the day.
I think a lot of people in this country believe that. Like,
yeah, they do. Stupidly, but it's a business at the end of the day. Always keep that at the forefront. It is a business.
Yeah, I think generations. I mean, maybe we haven't faced it. I mean, I've seen that dream kind of get sold to me a few times, but I think the generation before us too, they were really sold that. Like, stick with this company. They'll make sure that you can retire good and da 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 da. And then them companies might not be around by the time you're gonna retire. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, don't put all your faith and belief in anything, man. This dude died for his job. That I thought about that too as a CEO. Like, did he even work? Like,
I wonder how long he was in that position.
Like, he's not the founder of that company.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he probably goes from like industry to industry being CEOs, which is crazy. So that's, yeah, it ain't worth dying for, man. Spec, before we get out of here, man. Billboard named Beyonce the greatest pop star of the 21st century. She edged out other icons such as Taylor Swift, Rihanna, and Drake. A lot of people though feel like Billboard might have done this just to cause a discussion. I think
you feel that they feel they did it to cause a discussion or did not?
Did it to cause a discussion? I believe. I'm not sure if it was Billboard, but previously, like a few weeks earlier, I think Olivia Rodrigo won for Tour of the Year when everybody obviously Taylor Swift had the biggest tour of the year. You know what I'm saying? Or you give it to Beyonce.
I never even heard of Olivia Rodrigo.
I know who Olivia Rodrigo is, but I don't even know. I didn't know of her tour. And I know she's been touring, but I didn't know it was that big of a deal.
I mean, was it bigger than Beyonce and Taylor?
I think they did it because it's going to make those big fan bases get mad and kind of hate tweet about it, which is engagement regardless. You know what I'm saying? Right. The only reason I give them a little more benefit of the doubt is because they named this the 21st century. I feel like if they would have named it the past decade, maybe Taylor Swift definitely would have got number one.
But the 21st, that stands like 20 years or something,
right? Yeah, exactly. And Beyonce's a child star. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and not that Taylor Swift isn't, but just Beyonce.
No, it's not the same. I mean, Beyonce's been doing it for 2+ decades. So just off of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's appropriate when you say the 21st century versus the last decade.
Yeah. And I think
because last decade, Taylor got it. I'll give that to her. But if you're talking about the 21st century, you got to give it to Beyonce.
She had a Super Bowl appearance. Multiple, right? Didn't she do? I feel like she was there twice.
I don't know, but screw the Super Bowl. I mean, just look at the stat sheet.
Yeah. She was snubbed from the CMAs for her last album. I think we had spoken about it.
That's a given. They ain't ready.
But then the Grammys came out and they gave her like a record number of like nominations. I believe if she wins Album of the Year, I believe if she wins any Grammys, I think she gets the record for the most Grammys. But this is another opportunity for her to win Album of the Year, which is something that I think is the one mountain that she hasn't conquered yet.
Really?
I believe so. Yeah. Whatever the final album of the night is, it's supposed to be the biggest one. I think that's the only one she hasn't won yet.
Okay.
A lot of people say the CMA thing happened because she didn't play the country music, like what is the promotion game, like do the radio tour. But like I was like, I thought she doesn't do that for any genre. Like she doesn't do that for pop music, do their radio. She definitely doesn't do it for hip hop music.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like. They still play her music, you know what I'm saying? So I've been all year. I've been telling you I have not listened to this Cowboy Carter album. I'm gonna try to listen to it before the Grammys because I gotta know maybe it wasn't popping in terms of a country album, but I don't want to believe that it wasn't just because she didn't play the game, or even like I think Shabuzi. You've heard of him, right? He had that song Tipsy. So I think that song's like one of the. I think it might have edged out Lil Nas X's Old Town Road in terms of the longest run on the Billboard chart on top 10. And it's like he didn't win anything. You know what I'm saying?
He didn't get anything?
Not at the CMAs, no.
Oh, okay.
So like I don't know. I don't want to hit it. You didn't play the game stuff. Like if it's racism, it's racism. If it's not, it's not. But or if it's the song's not popping, the song's not popping. Like,
well, no, we know the song is popping, so it can't be that.
Yeah.
You know, we know. I mean,
and not in the Shabuzi case.
Both of them. I mean, the music is playing on the radio. Like
the Shabuzi is everywhere. I'll give that. The Cowboy Carter, not as much. I remember when I think she first made the announcement, the first single, but I haven't heard that much of the album in terms of like everywhere.
Yeah, I can't say. I mean, I don't listen everywhere, right?
I'm
only here.
Nah, y'all should have gave your man something. Like that's.
But the fact that they didn't just proves
that it might be a racial component to it. You know what I mean? That or they don't like when you're not that traditional country artist.
Right. You know I mean, it boils down to the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, because Jelly Roll isn't a traditional country artist.
But has he not won?
Yes, at the CMAs, I believe
he's had to win. Jelly Roll's too big to not have won.
But he comes from rap, you know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I can only think it has to boil down to a skin color thing. I mean, because like you said, Jelly Roll, and he's not the only one. There's several artists that aren't the traditional country artists, right? And they get notoriety, they get recognized.
Yeah.
So
I think there's an artist named Mickey Guyton. She's a black lady, and she's spoken on just stuff that she's had to face in the industry. She does play the game. You know what I'm saying? She does do the whole, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be on country radio. I'm gonna go do the shows. I'm gonna do whatever the case may be. And she even says it's difficult for her to break through. She's been held back. So you know what I mean? I do like Beyonce getting her flowers for this 21st century biggest artist on Billboard, and I think it's accurate. The rest of the list I can't speak on, but give Beyonce like Beyonce's been holding it down, like in terms of just being an icon, just that name that you can mention on a white show, you can mention it on a black show, you can mention it on a comedy show, on a drama, and everyone knows who you're talking about. Right. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Beyonce, keep doing your thing. Finally, Spec, man, before we get up out of here, Daniel Penny, there was a gentleman, I believe, that was arrested after putting a chokehold on a individual who was having a mental episode on the subway, put him in a chokehold, and it actually led to his death. Jordan Neely was a gentleman who passed away. This past Friday, a judge granted the motion from the prosecutors to dismiss the more serious charge of second-degree manslaughter against Daniel Penny. Basically, because the jury was just deadlocked on it, couldn't make a decision. They couldn't put me on this jury because I have zero sympathy, and I feel bad saying it because I know mental illness exists. But when you put a group of people in a subway car and have them make them to feel unsafe.
Well, if you grew up in New York City, you know what it is.
That's
like it's like, yeah. I ain't mad.
People were protesting about it, right? And I'm like, are you just protesting because when you see a white dude and a black dude? Because I'm like, if you ever been on a subway, you would totally understand why this dude did that. Now, it comes down to it. They say that he could have let go at a certain point, but maybe he was so scared. And the adrenaline was running. You can't just say he did that to hurt this man or whatever. Like, you made everyone freak out enough to like have to tackle you on a train, bro. When you holding somebody down, right? And this is like a fight situation. This is me in my mind. I'm thinking, well, okay, once I let him up, is he gonna come back with some super normal strength and like what's going to? And so I'm not gonna let you up. And so I don't blame him. I don't think he should have been hit with that charge. Now, there still is another charge on the table of like negligent homicide or something like that, but it only comes with 4 years or something like that. As opposed to 15, I believe.
I wouldn't be mad at that because at the end of the day, he did kill a man, right? So, but, I'm not mad like at what he did, like at the end of the day. Because even though the guy didn't have a weapon, you don't need a weapon. Like you're on the subway threatening people's lives.
I think some of the witnesses were quoted as saying he was like, "I'll die. I have no problem dying today," or something like that.
Like, come on now.
Like, when people start talking like that, and getting in people's faces, you because we've seen it go the other way.
We've seen it. I mean, if you grew up in New York City, you already know what it is. Subway's a wild place.
Yeah, it's I wish there wasn't this racial component to it. Also, I don't know, like, if this was a brother that had choked someone out instead of a white man, would he be getting the same treatment? Now, that's what I think we could protest over. Like, if it was a black guy, that would be something.
I'm interested in how that would play out.
Yeah.
Like,
but I don't blame this dude for doing what you just ran across the wrong dude that had military training, and it didn't work out well for you. Now, and that's like I said, I do have sympathy for mental health issues, but you got to take care of that, because if you find yourself in a situation where you're having the episode on a public transportation metal like room basically that you can't get out of, you know what I mean, until you get to the next stop, people are gonna act like you know what I mean, this survival stuff is gonna kick in. Something else I seen legally too. I seen what's guy named Jussie Smollett. I seen he got his charges overturned.
Oh really?
Yeah, like 'cause they were still trying to try him.
I didn't know that. I thought that was over.
Nah, basically what happened with Jussie is he worked out a deal the first time back in 2019 that was supposed to get him off. He just had to like
pay restitution, pay for the
And then I believe it said the deal special prosecutor should not have been allowed to intervene with Smollett after he reached a deal with the Cook County State Attorney in which charges against him were dropped in exchange for him forfeiting his $10,000 bond and performing community service. I believe that state's attorney lost their next political run, and someone else came in and decided, no, that deal's off the table. We're going to run. And he pulled the old Bill Cosby. He's like, y'all made a deal with me. You already said if I agree to this, I took a plea. I told you guys, you know what I mean? And you can't, and that's why they had to let him off.
Oh, okay.
But they were still trying to try him, like to get, because I think he's only done about 6 days in jail.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were like, nah, we gotta try to get you on something. I say all that to say, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm wrong, and I guess if justice is gonna play itself out, we'll see if this guy does get locked up, Daniel Penny, for what he does. 4 years, I think, might even be too long. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not mad at what he did. So if he was to completely get off, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
But if they were gonna get him on something, all right, I'll take the 4 years versus that 15 year. Like that was not. That's not, that charge wouldn't have been what's up.
But and I'm sure we will see it. I'm you know what I mean. Things play out a certain way. If the shoe's on the other foot, white dude bugging out, black dude puts him in a chokehold.
Oh,
passes out.
He might have gotten that 15.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we want that same grace. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if we necessarily get it. Now that's what y'all be protesting. Yeah, shoes on the other foot. Now, because when I seen the protest, I was like, I get it, but I don't think this is the one to protest for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, but yeah. I also, if I was part of that guy's family that passed away, I would probably feel differently about it. If I knew someone who could potentially be in that situation if they didn't take their meds that day, I'd probably feel different about it as well. So it's just like, it's a catch-22, but yeah, you'd hate to be on either side of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But Spec, that's another episode in the books, man. I appreciate you coming out. Where can our people find you at on social media?
www.nowhere.com.
Oh, you can find your boy DJ Playboy on X at DJ Playboy. You can find me on Instagram at Plickapeezy, PLICCAPEEZY, and also follow the whole massive on Instagram as well at Perfect Talk Radio on Instagram. Also follow the website www.perfecttalkpodcast.com for everything DJ Playboy Perfect Talk Podcast. You can catch every episode right on there. And also, some merch. Get yourself a t-shirt. It's the holiday season. Get yourself a little mug. Whatever you're gonna do, hook somebody up, man. Let them know we're following the team. Good times, man. Anything you seen Wicked?
I don't know. I haven't seen Wicked. No.
You seen Gladiator yet? Gladiator 2?
Nope.
Yeah, I gotta see one of them before the year's over.
Everybody's talking about Wicked. Catching up with movies. Yeah.
Everybody talking. I was like, I want to see Wicked, but I feel like I gotta watch The Wizard of Oz. I don't even remember the storyline of The Wizard of Oz like that. Like,
I definitely don't. It's been like 3 decades since I watched that show.
And I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I heard Wicked, basically everything you thought was good and bad in The Wizard of Oz is not. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you think the Wicked Witch is really the Wicked, but I guess she misunderstood and all that. But I heard good things. I mean, people love Wicked since it was a play and all that. But I heard Ariana Grande did her thing. I heard Denzel did his thing in Gladiator 2. We was gonna show up. We was gonna go actually watch Moana. I think they all Moana had come out that weekend, and the movie theater was just packed. Everybody was, and I was just like, I don't do packed movie. I was like, we gotta do this another day, man. But I'm ready for the holiday season. I'm ready to get up out of here, man. We gonna catch y'all next time. And we appreciate y'all coming through, man. Shout out everybody out there. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. We up out of here.
Happy holidays, people.
Peace.